What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, we do upload PvP content every single day, so please consider subscribing if you're into that type of content. Today we've dealt with some of the worst lag I've seen. Honestly, we went 2 and 13 in our first 3 sets. It was just so bad. I was losing Tropius leads to Swamperts. It was ridiculous. I don't know what they take down these servers for maintenance, and they don't even fix anything. But aside from the point, this isn't a rant video. We've ranted enough about the lag. It is what it is. It's going to be here forever. Okuno Shio here in this first matchup, where we are going to be showcasing Azumarill, Hypno, and Registeel, a team that is very well balanced, but how does it perform? Let's find out here. Altaria lead as we see more lag. This is actually after a lot of the lag had subdued already, so this isn't even the worst of it. But we're going to go for the Ice Beam here. And our opponent does switch out into the Registeel to catch that. So a very good swap on their part. We bring in the Registeel here. And we are behind in energy. So this is not a good spot for us to be in. Our opponent is over farming there. And it's possible that they're actually going to over farm over 100 energy, which would benefit us. So we do go for the Focus Blast. They are going to shield that up. And at this point, I'm going to allow this Focus Blast to come through, hoping for the bait, because I'm already behind in energy. The bait's pretty much one of the only win conditions I have. It is a Focus Blast though. So what I need to do here is shield up this second charge move, and I have to realize that I have to get a successful bait out with Flash Cannon in order to win this match. So what I do is I go for the Flash Cannon here. We do successfully get the shield, but we're still going to get outpaced to the next charge move. However, we still have a shield, so we could shield that up. And as you could see here, he actually was committing to a lock-on farm down, I believe, and that allows us to get to the charge move. So we end up winning that matchup with the shield advantage, which is pretty crazy. And as a result of that, we're going to be able to come in here with the Hypno. Obviously, we're going to save the Azumarill in the back for the Altaria. Plus, we don't want Azumarill going up against the Deoxys that could potentially be running Thunderbolt, putting our Azumarill into a precarious situation where it may no longer be available for that Altaria after in the back. So we just come in with Hypno here. Gonna go for the Thunder Punch onto the Deoxys. We are going to be able to tank some of these charge moves that it throws to us. Plus, the counters are being resisted. So this is a pretty good situation for us. The Thunder Punches are going to come through, and one more charge attack here from the Deoxys should be a Rock Slide, which we will be able to tank and get to one more charge move before we faint down. Thunder Punch going to come through. This will not KO the Deoxys, but it's going to leave it really low to the point where Azumarill could come in and farm it down. Our opponent is going to get rid of the Hypno here with their last charge move, and the Azumarill is going to come in. Our opponent's going to make a quick swap into the Altaria, but even with this quick swap, it's not going to really change anything. Plus, we have a shield, so this match is pretty much over, and our opponent is going to choose to back out of the match. So good game there. And we are headed into the next matchup here, match number 2, and it is going to be against Intrepid Colors. So let us see what he is going to be leading into our Azumarill. A Hypno. This isn't the best matchup for Azumarill. We are actually going to lose this matchup in all shield situations, assuming it has Thunder Punch. So basically, in this matchup, I am running Play Rough. I switched back and forth between Play Rough, Ice Beam, but I did decide that I prefer Ice Beam with this particular team. So the majority of these matches will be played with Ice Beam, and if you're looking to use this team, I would probably recommend you go with Ice Beam. Here, our opponent is going to go for the Thunder Punch. Ice Beam would actually benefit us here too because we would get it off quicker, but that's fine. We are running Play Rough, so Thunder Punch comes through, and what I'm looking to do here, to be honest, is burn both shields, even if it means I lose switch advantage and burn my own 2 shields, because I think that Registeel performs really well with shields down, and usually when somebody's running a Hypno, oftentimes their team consists of maybe like a Azumarill in the back and something else like a counter for Registeel, like possibly a Whiscash. So if I could get shields down, I think that I could handle the Azumarill with the Registeel. I know I could handle it with the Hypno as well, so that wouldn't be a problem. Now that counter for the Registeel might be an issue, but we'll deal with that after. The Registeel is going to come in here now, and I'm going to look to farm down on the Hypno, gain some energy. Our opponent actually brings in a Toxicroak, which is the last thing I wanted to see, and I wasn't able to get a confusion on the Toxicroak, unfortunately. However, he does bring in the Azumarill, as was expected, so this is a good matchup for us, and we're going to be able to beat this Azumarill with the Thunder Punches. So what I want to do here is pretty much see if I'm able to beat this Azumarill and just have any sort of health left on my Hypno to get off some confusion damage on that Toxicroak, because those confusions absolutely demolish the Toxicroak. And if I could get it low enough to the point where my Registeel could come in and get off one flash cannon, my Registeel has full health, so it can take a Mud Bomb at least. And you see there, 2 confusions, already at half health. I go for the Thunder Punch here because I'm not sure I could get another confusion off considering how slow the animation is. I switch into the Registeel here. We're definitely going to catch this Mud Bomb. However, we will survive, and we should be able to get to the Flash Cannon here. And this is going to be a very big win for us, despite running into the Toxicroak, which poses a big threat to the team. So heading into match number 3 here, and it is going to be against the Poke Engineer. So let's see what they are going to be leading with into our Azumarill, and it is going to be a Meganium, so absolutely the worst lead you want to see with the Azumarill, and in all honesty, the worst lead you want to see with this team in general. And I think I made a pretty big mistake here bringing in the Hypno, because Meganium poses such a threat to this entire team that Hypno is technically the only Pokemon on my team that could defeat it. What I should have done was bring in the Registeel, and if the Meganium wants to stay in that matchup, fine, I'll take it, because then my Azumarill will have a better matchup in the back. So I should have definitely brought in the Registeel. That was a mistake. Bringing in the Hypno eliminates my only threat to the Meganium, and now I'm completely walled by this Bastion because Ice Punch, Thunder Punch, Confusion, they're doing nothing to this Bastion. You would need Focus Blast on the Hypno, which very few people run. So very unfortunate spot for us to be in here, and we are going to get absolutely mauled, it looks like. So I bring in the Registeel here, and this is like going to be a flamethrower. I'm trying to preserve my shields here for that Meganium. I need to get rid of the Meganium to have any chance of winning this matchup, but at this point it's pretty much over. So I go for the Flash Cannon here, and this should be in the range to KO the Bastion, but to my surprise my opponent actually shields, and that's because they want to get off this charge move, of course, and I choose to burn a shield here. Questionable. I mean, at this point the game is pretty much over, but I think I should have saved that shield, to be honest, because then we would have more play against this Meganium here. It would have to commit 2 charge moves, obviously, to farm us down, because those Vine Whips aren't going to do anything. We would be a lot lower, of course, in the red, and it could just go for Frenzy Plants, but as you can see, it's going for Frenzy Plants here anyways. We bring in the Azumarill. We can tank the first Frenzy Plant, but we don't have Ice Beam. Either way, it doesn't matter if we have Ice Beam or not in this particular matchup, because they are going to shield whatever we throw at it, which is the play rough in this case, but the Ice Beam would be generating to the charge move a lot quicker. But regardless, we will not get to the second charge move. Even if we had Ice Beam, as you can see here, we get farmed down. Very bad situation for us. The Hypno is the only chance we have to beat this Meganium, but it has no health left, so this is pretty much a GG. Registeel comes in. That Meganium farmed up enough energy to get off another Frenzy Plant, which is going to KO. We choose to shield just out of pride here, but it's over. This Meganium is generating energy way too quickly. The Hypno is going to come into the matchup again, and with a little sliver of health, they can't do anything. So very well played by our opponent there. Meganium is a big threat to the team, something you have to prepare for better if you are going to run this team. So after that tough loss, let's see if we can rebound here against Zero Itzia. And we are going to be leading the Azumarill once again into the Bastion. So not a bad matchup. We are running Ice Beam here. As you could see, that Meganium did really put a wrench into our plans. So I'm going to go for the Hydro Pump, of course. However, I am expecting a switch here. So I wasn't throwing the Hydro Pump right away in case they are counting. And as you could see there, I do get off the Hydro Pump. So they didn't switch. They do choose to shield though, and switch now into the Victory Bell, which is absolutely going off on Azumarill. But I do bring in Hypno, and Hypno is going to be able to Confusion down this Shadow Victory Bell. So very good for us. The Bastiodon can come back in though, and our opponent's not going to have to shield anything here. Even though we have enough energy for a Focus Blast, you could be pretty confident that most people aren't running it. So we're just going for the Thunder Punches here. And this, it's kind of a waste of our energy, unfortunately. But thankfully, we did get rid of that Victory Bell, which was definitely one of the biggest threats. But it put our Azumarill so low that we're not in a really good position here. So what I'm going to do is go for the Ice Beam here. I need the bait here because Hydro Pump would KO. And our opponent does choose to shield there. I tried to switch out, but the lag did not allow for it. So I bring in the Registeel. He has a Toxicroak. And this is horrible for us. But we have a 2 shield advantage here. And these flash cannons are going to hurt. So all we have to do is shield up these Mud Bombs. We will be able to KO the Toxicroak. And then it's really going to come down to whether or not we could outpace that Bastiodon in the back to the charge move. We do get to this flash cannon. This is going to KO the Toxicroak. So there goes the Toxicroak. And fortunately for us, that Toxicroak did not get off a second charge move. So we actually are able to keep this shield for the Registeel in the back, which is going to be absolutely necessary here. As you could see, the Flamethrower would have knocked us out. Instead, shield that up. We do get to this flash cannon, and this is going to win us the game. So another match where we face Toxicroak, and we end up winning. And straight into match number 5 here against Cynera, rocking that mic drop pose, rank 10. So let us see what they're going to be leading with, and it is going to be the Skarmory. Now every time we do see a Skarmory lead, of course, we do fear the double grass strategy, Caleb paying team. But in this matchup, it doesn't look like they're running that team because they are choosing to stay in with the Skarmory. So Sky Attack's going to come through. And I think I make a mistake here. When we see that they're planning to stay in with the Skarmory, we should definitely be going for the Ice Beam here. There's no point to go for the Hydro Pump when it looks like they're going to stay in the matchup, because they're likely going to shield. So a big mistake there on my part. Now I do choose to burn my own shield here because I want to win this matchup, of course. And at this point I'm going to go for another Hydro Pump, see if they want to burn both shields. And it turns out that they do. So this caught me a little off guard. I was wondering, why are they so protective of Skarmory here against Azumarill? Like, what do they have in the back that could fear Azumarill so much? So I choose to bring in the Registeel here, and they bring in a Whiscash. Obviously, this is a really bad situation for us. I'm going to get off this Focus Blast. This is going to do a lot of damage. They have no shields, and the Focus Blast is going to come through here. Now, unfortunately, I'm going to have to take one Mud Bomb here, but that's fine. We could survive it. I do choose to shield it up, though. And I should have switched into the Hypno here, because Hypno has such a favorable matchup against Whiscash that there's really no point for me to leave my Registeel in here taking all this unnecessary damage. I figured that I could outpace it to the Focus Blast, and that's why I left it in here. But realistically, Hypno wins every shield situation against Whiscash, so it made no sense to leave the Registeel in here. They actually bring in the Swampert here, so they are running the double Mud Boy strat. And this Hydro Cannon is going to KO the Registeel here. Now, had I had the switch out done earlier, I could have probably had some energy stored on this Hypno to get off an Ice Punch on this Swampert. And then I would have had enough energy on the Registeel to get off a Focus Blast, which would win us at least this particular matchup here. I still don't know how we would beat the Skarmory in the back, but it depends on a lot of things. Now, we do face a lot of lag here, as is standard, and we end up lagging even more here. So this is just, nothing is going in our favor here. And this Swampert is going to get to a Hydro Cannon. Now, I'm not sure how much the lag affects this matchup, but realistically, I think it played a pretty integral part in this matchup. Not sure if we would have won, but I could definitely say we would have had a much better chance to win if not for the lag. So we end up going 3-2. If you guys enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like, commenting, and subscribing to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.